Hi everybody, it's Claire back with another art journal video, and this one is one from the archives, I guess. Playing with one of Natalie May's collage papers. It's a really bright, colourful one. I think it's called Rainbow Mandala. I'm starting off with some white gesso on my page, and I guess even if you can't get hold of image collage papers like this just shows how easy it is to incorporate them into your journal page. So I've gone in with white gesso because I wanted the colours to not be affected by the colour of the craft paper this time. I've started with iris, and then this is turquoise, and I'm going to use magenta. These are three colours that I absolutely love. Pinks, purples and the turquoise are like my go-to colours, and because this mandala collage paper's got so many bright colours in it, I just kind of knew that these would work really well. So I'm starting off with some colours to go in with, and then I'm using this leaf stencil from Natalie May. This is one of the layered ones. I think there's another layer that you can use with it. And that looks like a peacock that I'm going in with next. So a slightly darker tone of the turquoise. And you can see how nicely these are working. Then this is the Cool Marks stencil, also from Natalie, and I've just added a bit of white to the colour that I had just to make another different, slightly lighter tone. Here's the mandala. Isn't it beautiful? I just love the colours in it, which won't be a surprise to anybody. These collage papers are so lovely. You can use a water brush to cut them out. It gives you a nice soft edge. But because this had a very definite edge to it, I didn't really need to do that for this one. I could cut it out, and I knew that it would work okay. If you don't like the cut edge though, a nice way to do it is to use a water brush, and you get that softer line. So this was a little bit fiddly. As you know, I don't really like cutting out, but I decided that this would work best for this. So clearly watching something, got distracted. Doesn't take much. I'm going to put it on the side of my page, so I've cut that bit off. I'm going to stick it in place using some gel medium, and I always brush a bit over the top of the collage paper as well, just to kind of seal that in place. So the next two mandala shapes that I'm going to use, I used a water brush to cut these out rather than scissors. It's super easy. You just paint the water on, leave it a couple of seconds, and then you can gently ease the excess paper away. It gives a much softer edge. And I'm just going to pop these on my page. So of course I'm working in odd numbers because they work well. It's almost something I do without kind of thinking now. And sometimes I'll look at my page and think, well, that doesn't feel right, and it'll be because there's an even number on there. It's so funny how these things become almost second nature after a while. When they are things that you do deliberately, they can kind of become like a sort of habitual thing, I suppose. I've cut off the edges, the excess, and given the page a really good dry. This is a Life of Colour paint pen, and I'm just going in and outlining some of these patterns and marks on the mandala just to kind of help draw them forwards a little bit. I love the colours in this, they're so pretty. I love how one blends into the other. And just doing a bit of outlining. A, it's, you know, it's helping to pull that image forwards, and B, it's quite meditative, so it's quite a nice thing to sit and do. Life of Colour paint pens are fabulous as well. They're really opaque and put down a real lovely amount of colour. So this is another stencil from Natalie May. This one is great for adding text to your journal page. You can also do this without using a stencil. You can just paint brushstroke marks onto your page, and it gives you those kind of areas that you can add text into. You can use them as a guide for the size of your letters, or you can just kind of write freehand in them. But doing something like this is a great way to assist you with getting text onto your page if you're not so confident just going in and writing it on. And also it does create quite a cool effect as well. The black is a great contrast with all those bright colours that are already on my page. Saying that, I think white would have worked as well too. That would have also been a good contrast. But I thought that the black would kind of cover the background more effectively. So I had a quote in mind, and I was just making sure that I'd got enough space to write it on. And next I'm going to use my Shoot for the Stars text stamp and just add some text onto my page as well. This stamp is available on my website. It's one of my go-to text stamps. I've got to be honest, it's my favourite. And then here is my contrast. I'm going in with white writing on top of my black lines, and I'm writing my quotes onto these splashes of black, just using them as a guide really. So it's a really nice way to get that text on my page. And look how that writing really pops because the white has got the black behind it. Then I'm going in and adding some white dots using the same Posca pen. You could also use my Dotty stamp for this. This is again just kind of bringing more contrast to the page. It's just something I love doing. I love putting dots on pages. It's something that I've done for a very long time, and I just love the effect that it gives. Then a little bit of mark making using some more Life of Colour paint pens, just adding some crosses and dashes and dots in different colours, because why not? More colour is better, isn't it? And that, I think, apart from, what did I do after that? I'm not sure. Let's wait and see. Just using all the colours. Aha. Last thing I decided to do was to go in and pick out some of those white marks in the mandala using a white paint pen. So although I liked adding the black and it drew it forwards, I kind of felt that the image was sort of disappearing. And then once I started doing that, I then ended up going in with even more colours, more paint pens, adding more marks on there as well. That was kind of lots of fun to do. And here I'm just using colours that kind of complement the colours that are on those lovely petals. So yeah, lots of fun to kind of play with all the different pens and the different colours and just help those images pop a bit more. So collage papers are a great way to add imagery onto your page. Really simple. You can take inspiration from the colour that's on the collage paper for your starting point. It just makes it so easy. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.